So, yes, family, I have a testimony that I was very inspired to share with you today because of one of my fellow comrades, my brother Smoke, who has been going through chemotherapy treatment, and he is just wrapping that up. So, we have a group text with a lot of our classmates and brothers that we socialize with. So in that group chat, the brother Smoke put in a video message while he was at the hospital getting up his last chemotherapy treatment. And in the video, he stated that, he had a lot of time to do some reflecting upon, what is going on in his life. And he asked the question, why is this happening to me? And I really had to think about that and put it into perspective. And we all have to go through things in life. Sometimes some things have to be stripped away from us, or we have to put in a very demoralizing position for us to walk right, to live right, and make a greater connection with God. So that was the word that I sent to my brother. And I said, it is just something that had to happen to make you walk forward and move in a closer direction to God. And so that is his come to Jesus moment. So I'm going to share to you my come to Jesus moment. And hopefully this will resonate with many of you. So we're going to go back into the mid years of the 2000, 2006, 2007, somewhere about. And from the outside looking in, you would say that Brother Rob was doing pretty good for himself. I had my hair salon, and we had just opened up a new convenience store, myself and Sister Althea. But at this particular time, me and Sister Althea were not really in a relationship. It was more just a business relationship. Brother Rob was out in the streets doing all of the things that he shouldn't be doing. So I had to go through that come to Jesus moment. So during this time, I'm operating the shop, my hair salon, which was downtown Newark. Sister Althea was operating the store up in Irvington. So every Friday and Saturday, my friends would come down to the shop. We start drinking in the shop, and then we continue on throughout the night and close it out at the bar somewhere, just drinking up a storm. And so it was during this time that we started that downward spiral. And so, as all of you entrepreneurs may realize that when you first open up a business, the first year or two, it's very unlikely to see any profits from the business. In most states, you're going to start to see losses. So you need to have a surplus or another stream of income coming in to keep the business afloat until it can, settle and manage itself. So that was the case with the new store that Sister Althea was running. So I had to use some of the money from the shop, the hair salon, to funnel into the other business to keep them both afloat. Big no-no, big mistake. So during this time period, I know that this is something I shouldn't be doing. And just to make matters even worse, I'm going out on the weekends, partying, drinking, spending money that I know I don't have. So this is just going to put fuel to the fire. So as we continue on, times and months go by, we're still starting to see this money start to dwindle, and things are starting to really go into a bad state. But I don't really see a way out because I'm caught up in living this type of lifestyle. So as time goes on, I lose the place where I'm living at. And so I asked one of my friends who used to work on my vehicles if I could stay with him for a couple of weeks until I got myself together. And he agreed to it. So this brother was one in which you would call a squatter, meaning that he would um, he would be living in a place where a contractor would build a property or do the construction on a property and ask him to live in that place until he was able to rent it or either sell it. So that's the place where I was living with this brother for a couple of weeks. So one night, I'm sleeping on a couch. So the brother comes running up the steps and he comes and he hides behind a chair that's right next to me. So I sit up and I'm asking him what's going on. He just says, shh. So then he runs into the other room. So I put my shoes on. So I don't know what's going on. I got to prepare myself for whatever's about to come through this door. And so he comes back into the room. And then he looks out the window. And I'm saying, what's going on? What you doing? And he's like, they coming. I'm like, who's coming? So then he starts going through the couch and the chairs. He's picking up all the pillows and throwing everything around. And he's looking underneath and looking for something. That's when I realized this brother's getting high. So I had to get up out of there. I packed up my little stuff, got in my car, and I went somewhere. So I had to find somewhere to go rest for the rest of the night. So I just decided I'll park on the street somewhere and leave the car running because it's wintertime, it's cold out. So I had to have the heat going on. So as soon as I fell asleep, of course, somebody comes knocking on my window with the flashlight streaming in my eyes. It's the police. What are you doing out here? So he told me, you need to leave. All right, so no problems. I left. So then from there, I got to figure out, so where am I going to go now? So I said to myself, all right, I can go to the store. We got a big chair in the back of the store there. I can, catch a couple of hours of sleep before it's time to go to work, go back to the shop. So I do that. But I have to set my alarm because I know that Sister Althea is going to come to open up the store at 8 a.m. So she doesn't know what's going on. So I have to make it look like I just opened up early. So that's what I did. So I got the store opened up early, got the coffee going. And so when Althea comes in, it looks like everything is normal. She's all happy and giddy. Oh, you opened up early. So I say, yeah, I'm just playing it off, trying to make like everything is all right. And then this went on for a couple of days until one day I overslept. And so I heard that gate roll up and she comes in and I jumped up, but it's too late because now she sees me in there. So she knows that I'm sleeping in the store. So she's looking at me crazy, wondering what's going on. And I don't really recall what I said to her, or even if we really discussed it. But she knew that I was going through a downward period in my life, so we never really went into it too much. So this went on for a couple of days. So normally, when it's time to close, I would take Sister Althea home. So on this particular evening, we're about to close up. So she asked me, are you going to sleep in the store tonight? And I'm like, yeah. And so she goes in the back and she fixes the place up for me. I'm like, wow, that's nice. And so I come back in there, over there, and I'm saying to her, all right, you ready to go home? She says, I'm not going home. I'm going to stay here with you. Wow. When she said that, it just touched my heart and it moved me in a place like, I got to change my life. I got to turn this around. I can't keep going like this. But it also encouraged my spirit so much that, I had a renewed energy and purpose. Like, it's going to be all right. Because, yeah, I know I got my ride or die with me, and she's there with me, regardless of what. So, yeah, that started the change, and I started to turn my life around. And, during this time, all of her brothers and sisters from the church in which she was attending at the time, Brother Rob was still in the streets. I wasn't in the church. They used to come by the store to support her. They didn't know me, but they always gave me an encouraging word as well. And the late great Bishop Walter G. Francis was one of these individuals that came by the church, and he was a great man of God. Love him dearly. And that is the connection between ourselves and Bishop Dr. Pete Pinnock. And he always used to come by the store and just to support Sister Althea. And he gave me an encouraging word, but he really didn't know me at that particular time. And he would, invite me to come to church sometimes, but he never pressured me. And I greatly appreciated that. And I told him that, yes, one day I will definitely attend the church, which I did. And there were other people from the church that used to come by. Sister Carol Francis, no relationship to Bishop Francis, a great woman of God, always one that is very encouraging, very sweet, and always very supportive. Then there was Sister Judy with her 100 grandkids. And wow, this was a very powerful woman of God. She always had to take care of all of her grandkids. And when I say it was a bunch of them, trust and believe, it was a lot of them. But, she makes sure that she took care of them, brought them to church. Anywhere and everywhere that she went, you've seen all of her grandkids, her entire tribe coming along with her. And then there was this other gentleman. I call him the man in black. He had his black suit on with his nice black hat, and he drove a black limo. And he used to come by the store every week, and he just had to buy something from Sister Althea just to show his support. He'd bring other members from the church over there just to support Sister Althea and, just to encourage her and let her know that, the church community is here for you. And he would share an encouraging word as well. And, he is the one that is responsible for really helping me to turn my life around and get me in a better place. He used to always encourage me, Brother Rob, things are going to be all right, but you just got to walk strong, walk with God. And that is Deacon Wright, Brother Wright, a great man of God. And he is truly a great inspiration to us even unto this day. So I just was so grateful for him and all of the people that came through for their support and well wishes. But there is one man that really impacted this transition in a great way. And I don't even know the brother's name. It was one night we were closed, and he came by. He was a truck driver, and he was just looking for something. And he came to the store, and we opened it up for him. And he got a couple of goods, and then he just started to minister to us. And I guess he just saw all of the grief, pain, and anguish that was over my face, my body language and demeanor. And he just started to, speak life into me. Brother, he was like, brother, I don't know how you're still standing. I see your pain. I know what you're going through, but you just have to walk with God. God wants to use you. He wants you to be a servant, and he's going to use you in a mighty, mighty way. And those words just stuck with me. And I really, I had to really sit and think about and meditate on those words. And that was really that point in where the transformation started to take place. So then going forward, I used to be in the back of the store, and Sister Althea would always tell me, read your Bible. I didn't have a Bible. So Deacon Wright, the man in black, bought me my Bible, my very first Bible that I have to this day, with his name and the date in which he gave it to me. And I started to read my Bible in the back of the store. And, eventually started coming to church, and things started to change. My life started to turn around. That bad company that I was keeping, the things that I was doing that were sabotaging my life and put me in a downward spiral, started to dissipate. And, I started to taking things more seriously and making my walk with God. And just, you come to a point in your life where you have to make some decisions. You have to do away with some things and cut out some people, unfortunately. But this is all a part of the process. So what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, is, in order for you to get in alignment with God and live your life in accordance to his ways and to his wills, sometimes he has to strip some things away from you and make some things happen to you to make you come to your knees to call on God and say, I submit. I'm going to give my life unto you. So, brothers and sisters, that is my testimony unto you. And I encourage each and every one of you that are seeing someone going through those trials and tribulations, let them know it's not a permanent thing. It's temporary. It is your calling to come closer to God. Walk strong, walk in the Lord, and he shall provide and make a way. So that is my testimony. God bless.